Elementary school. It's a lot more different than middle school and high school are. It's pretty much like its own thing. Elementary school is pretty much where you learn all the first things, you meet all your first friends, and pretty much everything else like that. It's a really big experience. And it's also where you're going to get a lot of your really first memories. Not the first ones, but at least very, very early ones. And that's what this video is going to be about. It's pretty much just going to be about my favorite and least favorite memories from elementary school, because those are memories that are always going to be with you throughout your whole life. You're going to remember your first friends, your first enemies, the best grades you got, the worst grades you got, your favorite teachers, your least favorite teachers. Those are always going to go and stick with you, so I thought that would be kind of an interesting video to make. So this is going to be my best and worst memories of elementary school. And they will also kind of also outside of the school, because I couldn't really think of too much that happens inside school. Most of those memories are gone or just not too memorable, so I will go and have a few that happen outside school but are still connected to it. So these are my favorite and least favorite elementary school memories. Let's start with the worst. The first one would probably be my first crush moving away. So back in first grade, I had this one crush on a girl who I just thought was freaking adorable. I mean, before that, I had never had feelings for a girl like that, but this one, I had such a crush on her. And we were friends for a long while. We were friends for throughout all first grade and most of second grade. And then in second grade, it turned out she was moving away. And it hurt me. It really hurts. Because the way it happened is, I think it happened a lot worse. It turned out that when she moved away, she didn't tell me. So I found out about a week or so later when she moved away. Because I was talking to some of my friends and I'm like, hey, she hasn't been here in a while. And they're like, she moved! And I'm like, what? What? When did this happen? I was just so freaking sad. I just remember the whole day I just didn't want to talk to anyone and pretty much just kept to myself. I was just so disappointed. And I just didn't ever got to tell her how I felt. And I thought about it before. I was like, should I tell her? What if people find out? Because I thought about it before on Valentine's Day the year before. I was thinking of giving her this special Valentine, but then I voted against it. I was like, no, I'll wait for it. Now looking back, I kind of wish I did it, but then again, I was 7, 8 years old, so back then you just couldn't think, no, she's just a girl, who cares? But now I kind of wish I did do it. I wish I had the guts, but I didn't. So when she moved away, it was definitely just heart-wrenching, but at the same time, I guess also thinking that she had to go and leave all her friends behind. She had to start this whole new life without anybody, so I guess I was kind of being selfish too, but still, your first crush moving away, it was definitely heartbreaking, but today we are still really good friends. In fact, we saw each other for the first time in face-to-face not too long ago, so that was really great. We are still really good friends. Do I still have feelings for her? Kind of hard to say. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. She is pretty, but we'll see how things go. But I do think she's pretty, but we'll just have to go and see how things go from here. But I am glad we're all still friends, because it's funny, because out of all the people I met out of elementary school, she's probably the person I still have the best connection to. I mean, there are a few, like this one kid I met in kindergarten and a few more, but other than them, she's probably still the best. The best friend I had throughout most elementary school, I haven't talked to in years. He hates me now, for whatever reason, so it was crushing, but at least we're still friends, thanks to the internet. My first favorite good memory would probably be meeting my first friend. So, I'm going to reference a really stupid movie here, High School Musical. And there's one scene where one of the characters, the main character, says how when you're in kindergarten, the first person you meet, you become friends with in about 5 minutes. Best friends. And that is 100% true. I experienced it. I remember walking into the kindergarten class, I sat down, and then there was this one kid named Michael who was right next to me, and we talked, and 5 minutes later we were best friends. That's how it worked out. And we were pretty much best friends throughout the whole year. After that, we were still really good friends, but we didn't talk as much, but we were still friends. And then, as years went by, we talked less and less, but we are still technically friends at this point. We just don't talk too much, but that's what usually happens in life. The friends you meet really early on, you don't talk to as much to when you're an adult, even if you still have a lot of the same interests, but we definitely had a lot of fun together, and he was a really cool person. I actually remember one time at recess, it's not too good of a memory, we were going on a slide and just taking turns on it, then I was going up the stairs to go onto the little slide, and he's like, "I want to go," and he bit my butt. And after that, we just got into this big fight, and we got sent to the principal's office, and oh my god. And we were pretty much just like, "He bit my butt! He tried to go before me! Yay!" So the principal was just like, okay, make up, go back to class, okay? So we did, and then about a day later, we were best friends again. So, it was really good meeting them. We don't talk too much now, but it still was really cool meeting him, and I do consider ourselves lucky that we are still friends to this day, because usually the people you meet in kindergarten, you're not going to be friends with by the time you're in your 20s, so I think that's pretty cool. My second crush moved away. So it's funny how this happened. So, after my first crush, Abby, moved away, we had to find a replacement for our little group we were in. So, we had 2 boys and two girls originally. But when she moved, we only had 1 girl in the group. So we had to find a replacement. So there was this other girl in the class who I think was relatively new, so we had her be in our group. So, yeah, we're a four group again. And what do you know it? I ended up getting a crush on this girl. I just thought she was really pretty. So we become friends, and she stays that way for about a whole year or so, and after that, she ends up moving. I couldn't believe it. The second crush I have on a girl, and she ends up moving. After that, I pretty much just gave up on love for a while. I was like, okay, it's obviously not for me. I'm not meant to love anyone. Every time I fall in love with a girl, this is going to happen. So I was just like, I'm still a kid. I'll just stay single for all that time. So it really sucked. I hated it. Unlike my first crush who moved to a different city, this one just went to a different school. So I think she was still in the same city, but just went to a different school. But with here, I actually just didn't have as big as a connection to her, so I guess it didn't hurt as much, but it was still sad to see her go. I just remember also being sad all day. It was just like, not again, not again. Why? What did I ever do to you, God? What did I do to you to go and have this happen a second time in just about a year? But unlike my first crush, who I'm still friends with, I really haven't talked to this girl in years. So I'm I'm not really sure what she's up to today, but hopefully she didn't get into drugs or anything. Last time I saw her, she was into a lot of athletics and stuff like that, so hopefully she stays into that stuff and doesn't take heroin or anything like that. But yeah, it sucks having to have that just happen in just that amount of time. My second crush, the girl we had to replace, and she ends up going. And I think after she ended up going, we just decided to stay a three-person group. There was really no reason just to go and get another girl only for her to go and move away later, so we just decided to go and do that. And pretty much even after that, we stopped hanging out probably about late middle school, all three of us, so that's just that kind of stuff happens. But dang, second crush in a year, you got to admit that has to be hard. And since I talked about it, let's talk about the four-person group. It's not really a lot that you see two boys and two girls hanging out with each other a lot. And that's what we did. Because usually all the girls hung out with each other and all the boys hung out with each other. And sometimes, of course, they would hang out with each other's sex, but it was just usually girls and boys, even at lunch. But for us, no, it was a different story. We hung out at recess, we hung out at lunch, we hung out in the classroom, and a little out of school. Usually it was just my best friend Ryan and me, but Kayla and Abby, yeah, I don't think Abby I really hung out with out of school, ironically, since she was the one I liked, but Kayla, yeah, I did hang out with her a little bit. But it still isn't a lot that you see two boys and two girls just hanging out pretty much all the time and not caring. Because we were really good friends. We played pretty much just a bunch of games at recess, like tag and house and going down the slides and hanging upside down on the monkey bars, and getting the teachers mad at us. And that was fun. They took the monkey bars away years ago, which was stupid because the monkey bars are fun. And we would also go and jump off the swings, and they also hated that. Which is funny because when I was a kid, I liked jumping off the swings. But I tried doing it as an adult, and it scared me. I was like, what if I hurt myself? I don't want to do that. So it just shows you how you can kind of change from when you're a kid to an adult. But we had a lot of fun as a four-person group. We were kind of like Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny, but without the cursing. I was Stan. My friend Ryan was Kyle because he was a smart one. My friend Kayla was, I guess, Cartman. Not fat, but really tall. She was the tallest of the group. And then my friend Abby was, I guess, Kenny because kind of like how Kenny died, she moved away. And Julia as well. So yeah, we were the South Park kids, just minus all the cursing, and going on all those really cool adventures. But we definitely had a lot of fun, just hanging out all the time and talking about everything like Pokemon and whatever else first graders talk about. Eventually, all of us pretty much just broke apart. I haven't talked to Ryan since middle school because he just doesn't like me anymore, and I haven't talked to Kayla because we don't hate each other. We just kind of lost interest, I guess. We just drifted apart. But it is sad to see how all that go, and Abby is still the only one I'm still have any connection to, ironically. But those kinds of things happen. Maybe one day I'll catch up with Caitlin and Ryan again, but until then, I'll just have to hang on to the memories. Breaking my wrist. So this happened in gym back in 3rd grade. So I was running because we had to go and run around the whole gym to go and jog and get some exercise, and I was just running, minding my own business, and then out of the blue, some tubby kid in the class, I forget his name, accidentally, I'm guessing it was accidentally, runs into me, and I supposedly fly to the other part of the gym and just fall on a way that goes and breaks my wrist. So I'm pretty much holding it like this. I'm just like, God, it hurts. So I get sent to the nurse, and she goes and checks it out, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't like it. It hurts when I do this. So what do you think she does? She doesn't send me home. She sends me back to class. So the whole day, I'm holding my hand like this because it freaking hurts. It's broken. That's what it feels like when your freaking wrist is broken. So I'm just holding it all day like this, and just trying to go home, and hopefully it will just get better later in the day. And when I get home, my mom notices I'm holding it like just the instant I get home, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, my wrist hurts. So she goes like this and tells me, "Does this hurt? Does this hurt?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So she drives me to the hospital, and I had to go and get a cast on it and all that. So it was just, I really hated having to go and hold on day like that because it sucked. And obviously, my mom didn't like it. I didn't find out this till years later, but she actually went up to the school and made a big storm. She went up to the nurse and whoever else and just pretty much just went and said what she needed to say. I mean, because I'm guessing they were scared. They probably thought she was going to sue them, because that's why they don't like you jumping off the swings or going up the slides or anything like that, because they are really scared of getting sued. So they were probably really scared of this. I don't think the nurse got fired or anything, but I'm pretty sure she got a few words spoken to her from my mom and the school. It was a really dumb decision on her part, so yeah, it just, I didn't find out till years later. I was like, really? You went up there? Jeez. So, who knows what she says. She probably just said, "Fuck you! Fuck you!" Just bursting out every freaking curse word there. Just, if I was there, I would probably be like, whoa. And then she would go and tell me if I ever say those words, I'll be in trouble for the rest of my life. So, that's how I pretty much went and broke my wrist. And I forgot how long I had to hang on. I just remember it sucked having to go and put like one of those paper things that the paper comes in, so it wouldn't get wet or anything like that. It sucked having to have it, and how itchy it got. Oh, it really freaking sucked. And then I ended up breaking my elbow about a year later, so I didn't like that. It sucked, and that Tubby kid should have paid for it. I don't know his name, I don't know who he was anymore, but he should have paid for it. Recess. So this could just pretty much be a dozen things, because recess is just, you go at it pretty much just a bunch of times, so there's a million things of it. Like I said, I remember playing house with a bunch of my friends all the time. That was fun. We would jump off the swings and see who can go the furthest, or who can just go the highest on the swing, which was also kind of dangerous because the playground equipment was really close to the swing, so if we bumped into it, that would hurt. We liked trying to go up the poles and upside down the monkey bars. We played tag with each other and freeze tag and ball. All those good games. It was really fun. And there was actually some kind of folktale or whatever, or rumor that there were these people who lived behind the school, because there was this kind of really small woods behind the school, so there was this rumor that there were these people who lived behind the school, and if you went there to the little woods, you would get kidnapped. Obviously it wasn't true, probably, but it still did scare some kids from not going down there. I mean, I know I didn't want to go down there. I was like, what if I get kidnapped? I don't want to go down there. So if a ball ends up kind of going down there, people would just be like, yeah, we'll go get a new one. We're not taking a chance. But I kind of wonder if that legend is still there today. I'm guessing not, probably not. It probably eventually faded away, but if it is, I'd be really surprised. I'd be like, hey, do you know there are people down there who kidnap you kids? Nah, I don't want to say that, but it was something that was kind of creepy that did go and keep us all out, and just looking back at it, it is really funny. Puking in class. So this one happened back in kindergarten. So I remember I was in art class and just the art teacher was talking about something and I just didn't feel good. I was just rubbing my head on the desk going like, just not feeling too great, and the teacher asked me if I felt well. I was like, yeah, I'm good. And I think I pretty much said that because the school day was pretty much almost over. I think it was like maybe about an hour or so left of school left, so I was just like, I'll get through today. But then I just kept getting worse and worse and worse until I puked all over the freaking desk. And it was just, it probably wasn't really embarrassing, I guess. I'm not really sure if I felt embarrassed back then. I was in kindergarten, I didn't really care. I just wanted to go home and rest after that, so, and my teacher was like, oh god, it just took me to the nurse. And then after that, one of my parents went and took me home. But that one sucked. I mean, it was actually the second time I threw up in class, or the first time actually. A second time I would end up doing it years later in middle school, but which was actually a little bit funnier because that teacher was a germaphobe. But still, it was really, I hated it, but at least it wasn't too embarrassing because I was in kindergarten and you don't really feel too much embarrassment at that point. Choir. So back in 3rd grade, me, Ryan, Kayla, Julia, and another friend named Joss all decided to join choir. I don't know why, but we all decided to join choir. We just thought it would be kind of a fun thing to do after school. All we usually do is go home and just play video games or go outside or things like that. So we were like, okay, yeah, this could be fun. Let's do choir. So we did it, and it was okay, I guess. I mean, it wasn't the worst, but all I really remember is we practiced a lot. We would go and say tongue twitchers like Peter picked up something peppers, and then she sells down by the seashore to go and help us practice sing songs and everything like that. And then I don't really remember any of the songs we sang. I only remember one a tiny bit. It was like something about walls going down. It was like I think it was the walls of Jerusalem or something. I don't really remember, and my friend didn't like singing it for some reason. But there was some kind of song like that, and it's really the only one I really remember. And I also remember when one time my friend and I were waiting for my mom to pick me up, and we were just waiting there and waiting there and waiting there, and she didn't show up, and we were like, did she forget? Where is she? So she does later come up on her feet, and she went because somehow her car got a flat tire. It was like, really? And the teacher wasn't happy. She wanted to go home, so she was pretty pissed off about it. So there was that part. And then I kind of remember the night of the choir, just not too much, but I remember dressing up, having to go there and sing songs, and I just hated having to dress up. I was like, eek, why do I have to wear this stupid tie? I just remember going home and getting out of those stupid clothes and getting in some kids' clothes again. But choir, it was pretty fun. A great way to pass time. I wish I had the yearbook because I'm pretty sure I would have been in the 3rd grade choir picture, but I didn't have a yearbook for my 3rd grade year, so that kind of sucks. Bus bullies. So this was is in connection to my first crush. So in 1st grade, my first crush and I went and sat together on the same bus. So because we were in the same class, we was just like, okay, we'll always sit by together. It'll be fun. So because we knew each other, so we sat, somewhere near the back of the bus, because the back of the bus was always the cool place. It's kind of funny that years ago the back of the bus was considered the bad place, and then when I grew up, it was where all the cool kids were. That's where you wanted to go. So we sat where, somewhere maybe around the middle of the end, and always had fun. Usually we would just talk about what happened during the day or what we're going to do later, and just everything else like that. But then there were also these two guys who sat behind us, and they were a problem, a huge problem, because they would always go and bug us. They would just go and make fun of what we like and everything like that, and the biggest one was that they made fun of the fact that I had a crush on this girl. And I'm not sure if they found out I had one, or maybe it's just the fact that we always sat by together and it just made us look like a couple or something like that. But they made fun of us all the time. They went and said the kissing song all the time and go like, David and Abby kissing in a tree, Kissing. It bugged the hell out of us. We hated it. Because when you're in first grade and you got to hear that song and how you're a couple, it's just really embarrassing. You didn't like it. We really hated it. They were telling us we're going to get married, we're going to go out. We really hated it. Obviously, back then I was kind of hoping that one day would happen because I liked her, but I couldn't let those kids know that. I couldn't let the school know that. That would be the end of the world. Back then when the school knows you have a crush on a girl, no, your first grade life is over. You might as well go to a different school. You don't want all that. But man, they were really annoying. I hated them. Just having to go and deal with that for a whole freaking year. Jesus freaking Christ. But eventually they went to, the next year they were on different buses, and Abby and I were on different buses, even though on the really first day I actually went on the same bus as her, because even though I knew I went on a different bus, because of my crush on her, I had to go on the same bus as her. Yeah, I let my boner talk. So, I don't know what happened to them after that, but I was just happy never to see them again. Great Skate! So, in the town I grew up in, there was this place called Great Skate, which was pretty much where all these kids and preteens would always hang out. It was obviously a skate rink. So, during my friend's 7th birthday party, when I had a crush on, I went there. So, I was like, okay. So, and I remember getting the mail on the day I got the letter. I was like, holy crap, I got a letter! I didn't say crap, but I just remember going like, oh, I got a letter from her. So I teared it open and just pretty much an invitation to her 7th birthday party. I was like, yeah, birthday party! So I also remember that before the birthday party, my mama and I went to I think it was Toys R Us or something, and she was in the girls section, and I'm like, I'm not going in there. I'm not going in the girls section. And my mom was pretty much like, get in here. But a boy in the girls section, and I was like, I'm not going in there. I'm not risking my dignity. But she pretty much had to go and drag me in here, and I got her a Barbie or something. I don't remember. Girls like Barbies, so I got her that. So the day comes, and I go to her birthday party, and we have a lot of fun. We eat cake, we eat ice cream, we talk about all of our favorite things, and all of that. But there was only one problem. I didn't know how to skate. So I really couldn't go out on the skating rink. But then Abby comes up to me, and she's like, why aren't you skating? Or something like that, and I just tell her I can't skate. So she goes and puts out her palm and is like, I'll teach you. And I'm just like, okay. So we go out on the skating rink, and I'm just like, this can't be happening, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. I'm holding my crush's hand, skating with her. It's a dream come true. It was probably the happiest moment of my 7-year-old life, almost 8. I was just like, this has to be a dream. This can't be happening. It was really great just go and do that. I'm guessing we probably got a lot of looks from the other kids in class because we were skating together. They were probably like, what are they doing? Oh my god, they like each other! Or whatever. I don't think my mom was there or anything like that, so she didn't see it. I'm not sure if Abby's mom saw that or anything like that, but we probably did get some looks from the other kids in class. And I don't know if they had that kind of moment where the lovers go and skate together. I don't remember that, but if they did, I don't remember also if we skated together during that. But if we did, it probably gave a lot of the other kids ideas. We were already made fun of by a few kids for being a couple, so why not more? But it was a lot of fun. It was just a really great day for me to go and hold my crush's hand and skate with her. Even though it probably didn't really help me, I don't think I still know how to skate. I haven't skated in years, so I probably have since forgotten. But that was just a really enjoyable day. I loved it. It was just... I love that. Getting caught stealing. So I think this probably happened in 2nd grade or so, or 1st grade. I just finished a paper and I was going to turn it in, and I saw someone's work on the table. So I noticed their answers were a little different from mine. So I noticed the teacher wasn't looking, and I decided to go and erase mine and put in his. Then the teacher caught me. So that really sucked. So I was like, oh no! So she had to go and call my mom and told her I cheated and everything like that. And it made me cry. It made me cry. I was just like, I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And it was actually in some other teacher's class, not my regular teacher's class. So when I was going back to my regular teacher's class, I was trying to wipe away all the tears and the redness so people wouldn't think I was crying, because that would be pretty embarrassing. So I just had to go and get all that out of the way. But pretty much after that, I decided to never cheat again. I was just like, it's not worth it, okay? I learned my lesson. I won't do it again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And pretty much decided to not cheat again. It wasn't worth it. It's just, if I'm going to get in trouble for it, why should I go and do it? So that I didn't like. It was really stupid. Glad I didn't do it. Ryan's birthday. So yeah, this was for the friend that I haven't talked to in years, and I went to one of his birthday parties years ago. And there we did a lot of fun things, like the usual, eat cake, eat ice cream, of course those are always good, and all kinds of other birthday stuff. And I actually remember, I accidentally went to his house the day before thinking that was going to be the birthday, but no, it was the next day. So, if I remember correctly, I got him a pair of Pokemon socks that had Pikachu on it, and something else that I don't remember. I do remember I got him some Pokemon socks. Oh wait, I got him a Beanie Baby or something. That I remember, because he collected Beanie Babies, so I'm pretty sure it was a Beanie Baby. So I got him those things, and he got a bunch of other gifts from friends and everything like that. And when we were in this room and talking about things like Pokemon, he had a new thing to put all his Pokemon cards in, and he was going to go and give his own away. And we were all like, oh, I'll take it, oh, I'll take it, oh, I'll take it. And he eventually gave it to me because mine was pretty much just overstuffed because it was a small one. So he said I could have it, and I still have it to this day. So it was a fun birthday party to go to, and it's sad that our friendship did have a fallout. I wish we could still be friends, but still, I just still have the stuff he gave me. So I guess and that's still, like, it's still the good thing. Mom's signing me up for summer classes. So, when you do a good job in school, do you want to spend even more time in school? I mean, if you said yes, I'd be really surprised, because most kids don't. I mean, and that's what my mom did one summer. Because she didn't like the fact that we were sometimes really loud when we were playing games and everything like that, she signed us up for summer school. Needless to say, we didn't forgive her for a really long time. Both my brother and I, we were pretty mad. I mean, she was taking our summer away, just because she wanted some quiet time. We only get so much summer, and she was going and taking it away. Granted, this summer school thing was only for about half the summer or so, but still, we had some of that summer taken away. And it was stupid. All we really did there were some bunch of weird activities and whatever else. I mean, I didn't make any friends there or anything, so what was the point of going there? It was so friggin' stupid. And I guess in the end, my mom got the idea that we didn't like it, and she never signed us up for it again. Hopefully, no kid ever had to go through that ever again. Hopefully, in the end, all those got canceled because they're stupid. I mean, I really hated it. I don't know why any kid would want to go to summer school unless they have zero friends. But I hated it. It was dumb. And I will go and tell you, I will never go and put my kid through that. Not once. I am not that evil. I will never, ever, ever, mark my word, ever sign my kid up for summer school. Ever. Holidays. You know, Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's Day, all those. They are all pretty fun. I remember the Halloween ones because we got to dress up in our costumes, we got to eat a bunch of treats, and we also got to march down the road going and show all our costumes. If I remember correctly, and during my kindergarten year, I was Woody from Toy Story. And then in my first grade year, I was a dog. The year after that, I was Charmander. Then I was Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory, Link from The Legend of Zelda. Then in my 5th grade year, I was Goku from Dragon Ball Z. All pretty good costumes, if I think so. Out of all of them, my favorite would probably be Link, because it was a pretty cool looking costume. My mom made it. I even had a sword and shield. I looked pretty badass. Except for the fact that a lot of older people thought I was Peter frickin' Pan. Peter Pan, he doesn't have a sword, he has a knife. I didn't look like Peter Pan. But Halloween, those were always really fun. I liked those, and it did get us off a lot of the work. Just like Christmas. For Christmas, just like that, we got to go and eat a bunch of snacks. We had no work. We got to listen to Christmas songs, everything like that, and draw. And then probably the most fun thing was we got to go into the gym, and then all the classes got to sing songs. Like kindergarten, I think, would sing whatever it's called, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And then 1st grade would sing something like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, or some song like that. And then 5th grade would sing Skateboarding Santa, I think that was the song. And 3rd grade sung Hanukkah, Oh Hanukkah. I don't remember all the songs that they sang, but those are some of them. And then all the teachers would sing 12 Days of Christmas, and they would have all these props, like one of them would be dressed as a tree, some of them would be dressed as rings, some of them would be dressed as dancers, all that. So that was all really cool. I mean, it got us off work and all that, so I did really enjoy that too. Then Valentine's Day was also really nice. We would get all these Valentines, and it was just really cool to get some of them. And I remember during my 1st grade year, I was thinking of confessing. I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll tell her. I'll tell her I love her in this one Valentine. But I couldn't go and build it up. I couldn't do it. I should have, but I just couldn't go and build up and tell her I loved her, but I should have done it. So holidays, they were really fun. I liked them, and sadly they really couldn't go and get into the middle school and high school. By then we had to do work. We might get a snack or two, but for the most part, they weren't nearly as fun. 9/11. So this is pretty much a day that anyone can remember. Even if someone was about 3 years old when it happened, they can probably remember 9/11 pretty well. So I remember going downstairs the day it happened, and I just saw my mom going like at the TV and just couldn't believe what was happening. And I just saw a building on fire. I'm like, okay, so a building's on fire. What's the big deal? So I'm getting ready for school and all of that, and just carrying around with my day. And then when my mom was making us breakfast, my younger brother and I, she just went and froze in place, put the bowls on the table, and ran to the TV. And that's when the second tower hit. So I just ran over there like, geez, maybe it's pretty bad actually. And I remember what I had that day for breakfast: Rice Krispies. See, that's how well you remember 9/11. I remember what I had for breakfast that day. So I go to school and I see all the teachers are in the library just watching the TV, having the same expression as my mom, and I'm starting to get an idea it was pretty serious. Because I was in 4th grade then, so I didn't really understand what was going on, but was starting to know it was pretty bad at that point. And throughout the day, the principal would come on the intercom and pretty much just say what has happened, when the first tower fell, when the second tower fell, and all that. So it was a pretty scary day. It was a pretty intense day. It was a day that a lot of us didn't forget. I mean, it's a day I still do remember very fondly, especially if I remember what I had for breakfast. But I went home that day and just, my mom and dad pretty much just nothing but watch the news, watch the news, and watch the news. And after that, school was never really the same. Whether it was elementary school, middle school, high school, it really wasn't the same. Just, people were going to tell you that the pre-9/11 world was a lot more different than the post-9/11 world. Even for elementary school, it was just like two completely different things. And 9/11 definitely changed that. Going to church. So this is another 1st grade one. I remember that my friend Kayla invited me, Ryan, and Abby to go to her church. And we were like, okay, yeah, that could be fun. I've never been to church before, so I thought it'd be pretty cool. So I remember the day I'm getting ready, my mom was trying to go and make me wear some nice clothes for her. And I'm like, we don't have to wear nice clothes, it's not 1960 anymore. And because they hadn't been to church in years, so they didn't know that people were more casual now in church. So she's like, okay, fine, change, but if they're wearing nice clothes, it's your fault. And my dad was pretty much just going to ask me, you going out for a date? And I'm like, no, I'm not going out for a stupid date. So I go up and change, and my friends arrive, and we go to church, and I also remember I almost stepped in a puddle because it was raining that day, so I had to go and avoid that. So we go to church and have a lot of fun. We play musical chairs, we eat and play a bunch of games. It was pretty fun. So, and I actually still have one thing that I have right here in my room. I'll just zoom in on it. I made that back in the church. So see, you can see, yeah, my cat and dog at the time, both now dead, sadly, and a Bible quote. So I do still have that from the day I went to that church. So steady. So it was pretty fun. I liked it a lot, and I did go to church a few more times after that, but not with Kayla really. I think I went like maybe like 2 more times or so. But usually when I went to church, I went with my one of my friends named Josh. So not the one I mentioned earlier, but a different one. But it was a lot of fun night. I'm glad I went, and it was just a good way to go and do something I never did before. And those are just a ton of memories from back in elementary school. Some bad, some good. I remember all of them, wherever they were. And I'm sure there are a lot more I could remember if I really, really tried. I mean, some of them I just I try to remember some of them, but some of them are just so foggy that I can't remember them at all. And some of them are just kind of basic, maybe kind of good, but not too good. Kind of bad, not too bad. Just some just are kind of in the middle. So, but there are a lot of just memories from elementary school I do remember. I wish I remember more, but it was just so long ago now. I started elementary school back in 1997 and then ended it back in 2003. So it has definitely been a long time, and I kind of wonder how elementary school has changed over the years. Obviously back then kids didn't have cell phones, except for the really late years in my elementary school. Some of the more richer kids had cell phones, but today it's a lot different. Every kid has a cell phone, even the poor ones. But those are my elementary school memories. I enjoy them all, except for the bad ones of course, and I hope I do always remember them. And maybe in the future I'll also make a middle school one and a high school one. Middle school I might be able to remember a little, but high school I can definitely remember quite a few because it was a lot more recent. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. I know it dragged out forever and most of you probably don't even care about this kind of stuff, but I just wanted to go and get it out there. So, thanks. Oh, and go Hawks!